play in.
Yep, and as I say, every single draft, EHOME Immortal, if you're listening, please change your banner into a PNG. That is a JPEG file, which is why it's not working. For the love of God, it's horrible to look at. It's an eyesore. Anyway, let's get into the draft. That doesn't really matter. Good job, players. They've got a nice, you know, it's simple, but it works. I like their banner a lot. But let's get into this draft exactly. Earth Spirit, Jakiro, and Necrophos are going to be the 3 heroes picked up from Blaze. Meanwhile, EHOME Immortal, they've grabbed the Disruptor, the Spectre, and that Tiny. So a bit of hard initiation on the side of EHOME Immortal with that Tiny, the Blink Toss back, and the Earth Spirit matching that on the side of Blaze. Meanwhile, that hard carrying the Spectre from EHOME Immortal, no carry really bought out from Blaze just yet. Disruptor offering a bit of team fight and a little bit of supporting on the side of EHOME Immortal. Meanwhile, the Jakiro is going to lay down a bit of damage, a bit of tower push, a bit of wave push, and the Necrophos just going to be that brick wall in the middle of the fight, healing everybody up, building those auras, and generally being a pain in the arse. So what do you think how these heroes all match up against each other?
I was gonna say, wow, you just took my job right out of my hands.
Well, I did like the surface stuff, you know, like I did, okay. You know, my 4K explanations.
Right. You should yeah, okay. So we got Earth Spirit first pick. I'm kind of surprised about this draft in general because Darkseer has been first phase banned. So I had a theory that this hero might start getting banned out a lot as the tournament progresses. He's been picking up a lot of steam lately. So, you know, that being out of the point, I'm very sad because I love watching Darkseer gameplay. One thing I'm surprised about in this entire draft that there's no Venomancer at the moment. And that's been like a first phase pick or ban with extremely high win rate. Then on the side of EHOME Immortal, this is very classic, right? Take your Spectre from second pick. And then you just ban out like all the counters to your carry, like they ban out Sodar. I'm not sure about the TB. I guess Blaze play like a lot of TB. That's true. So maybe they ban out for that. And then Blaze go with that Necrophos that matches up against the Spectre quite nicely. You get that sustain, like you said, and then you got that auras that Spectre really hates to play against. Then you have this Tiny and an Invoker, and I think this Invoker pick, or sorry, the Faceless Void pick is it's pretty good this game because they got the Jakiro, right? And then they got the damage inside of Chrono because of the Jakiro. Hopefully their last mid hero is also going to be some kind of like a Queen of Pain. EHOME Immortal already banned out that DP. Exorcism does so much damage in Chrono. It's so good, like a cover. It's a little bit like a mini Phoenix, you know? Phoenix pops Egg and then you Chrono. Same with DP. DP pops Exo. You know, they try to go on her, then you pop the Chrono in a defensive way, and then you can do so much damage. And then for the EHOME Immortal, like Invoker has a really hard time playing against. One of the reasons is time dilation. So if you cast a bunch of spells and he goes in, he time dilates you, you're like a snail in the team fight. You can't do it. You can't move at all. And then the Faceless Void Chrono as well is a pretty strong counter to Invoker's BKB, even if he decides to buy that. And then you can just kill him because Invoker rarely buys any defensive items. Like he doesn't want to go into Aeon. He doesn't want to get like Shivas or something. He has so many items that he has to already build up to be relevant in the team fights.
Yeah, exactly. He's a surprisingly slow hero, can play fast. I mean, you know, it's kind of the hero is locked by his spells and like the way he scales and everything like that. Now Mag comes out from the side of Blades. That's going to finish off their draft for them. Interesting pickup as the final one. I kind of expected them to go for something more active, something which can kind of initiate and make the plays. But I guess they've got the Earth Spirit for that, and they just feel like they can get away with going for this Void Steroid, which might work out for them. Right. Definitely does okay against Invoker at mid, I think. It's not like you know, Magnus doesn't really lose lanes, as we say all the time. But it should be okay for him. Final pick now for EHOME Immortal. And they're going to need themselves an offlaner by the looks of it. Any guesses?
I'm thinking they need something very active, like a Beastmaster or something. Because they need that aura, right? They need the Beastmaster, the Invoker, they need to play together. They need the Spectre to be constantly active in this game. Because Magnus, if you just let him farm, you're done for.
Yeah.
Right? So, the best thing to do against this would be to just have a very active... Okay, that's a Brewmaster. All right, so they're going for the more team fight-oriented route. So, if EHOME Immortal start playing slow in this game, I do feel like they will lose.
Yes,
because eventually they're going to get outscaled. Like Faceless Void Necrophos late game is amazing against the matchup against EHOME Immortal. Invoker doesn't even have good heroes to play off of either. Like Alacrity Spectre, you know, he's okay, but it's not amazing. And then he doesn't really have many disables that can set up for his Meteor, for his Sunstrikes, you know, late game. It's
To be
kind of
fair,
awkward,
there's an underrated combo in here. If you Alacrity Brewmaster and he pops Drunken Brawler,
Okay.
he does hella damage. Like, I mean, it's honestly not a meme. Like, he crits so hard that it kind of.
No, I can see that.
I mean, it's definitely not a reason to pick Invoker and Brewmaster together, though. You know, it's a nice little synergy, but it's not relevant as such. But yeah, no, I completely agree that it's. I don't like this draft from EHOME Immortal. These heroes don't feel like they play with each other very well. Maybe you've got a bit of team fight. Maybe you've got a bit of like, you know, the ability to put pressure, but you're relying on these huge cooldowns on the Horn, on the Split, and those two spells are going to come back to bite them in the ass, because when those spells are on cooldown, players are either going to be trying to fight you, or they're just going to be farming. And either one they choose to do, they're probably going to be getting more gold off the map from you anyway, just because they've got this Void and Magnus with Empower. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the weakness of Spectre, and why I feel like this hero has been falling off in competitive Dota is because people just know how to play into her. You just pick a hero which scales faster than her, and all of a sudden you're forcing her to play quickly for a hero which is stronger once she has, you know, at least level 12, if not level 15, really. And it's just awkward. Like, by the time you get there as a Spectre, you know, you just get out farmed, and you have to play fast, and, you know, you got to really, really make these horns work this game, is what I'm trying to get at. And if they don't, they're going to be in some real trouble. So yeah, I do think Blades have the advantage in the draft. I think there's ways which EHOME Immortal can play into them. Whether they're going to be able to do so, well, that's the question. That's why we have the whole Dota thing, where we get into the game, we play the heroes, and don't just sit and draft. So we'll see what they can pull out of the bag here, EHOME Immortal. If you had to kind of, you know, do you think there are other ways which EHOME Immortal can win this game other than taking some really big team fights and just kind of snowballing them?
I think they can constantly buy, or they can first of all buy mid-game items like this Vladimir's, you know, bunch of bracers and wraith bands and things like that, and just keep running at them. Like, that's the one thing they have to do. Whether they have the master split up or not, they need to keep on running into them, right? You got this Jakiro, who needs to do all the damage inside of Chrono, but then Jakiro is not this super easy to maneuver around mobility hero, right? He can actually die very quickly, especially to Invoker. I played plenty of Jakiro in my lifetime, as a pro, you know, in pubs and stuff like that. Invoker is one of the most hated heroes, because every time he sees you, he's just going to Tornado, EMP, Cold Snap, you can't cast a single spell, and then +1 hero is just going to kill you. So you got that Tiny, right? That's that +1 hero. Oh, and I just realized this Invoker's a support, and the Tiny's mid. So all of a sudden, this game looks very different.
Yeah.
Very, very different. And I love it, because they needed something like this Tiny to be the... they need the Tiny to be like a roaming hero in this game. They need the Tiny to, you know, start running around, killing these supports off, running into the Magnus jungle, taking his creeps, or just like watching him farm or anything like that. And this Invoker support will make a lot more sense now too because of that.
Yep, yeah, and these are heroes with pretty low mana pools as well. You know, Void, he can often find himself having mana issues with not being able to get the Chronosphere if he gets caught out in an EMP. That could be a real issue for him. If you can take away any of Necro's mana, it's always gonna feel good in some way or another. Mag as well, you know, if you catch him out when he's kind of around the 75% mana mark, if you catch him out with an EMP there, he's going to drop down and not have reverse polarity anymore. So there's tons of great usages of this Quas Flex Invoker this game. And later on in the game as well, when we get to the late game, that Alacrity is going to be huge for the Tiny. You know, he's going to smash down towers when we if we do get to that point in the game where the Invoker's going to have a high points into Alacrity. So yeah, I really like the switch up from EHOME Immortal. And Blaze probably have to be... I'm not sure if they're going to be scared as such. You know, this Magnus and the Void are still going to do their thing. Doesn't change what they want to do, but it's definitely going to now move the pressure onto 7E to kind of be this movement-based hero where we want to see him putting pressure on the map and trying to get kills and basically trying to put on the pressure. Meanwhile, Necro getting very low up in the top lane here to ZZQ and Shiro, but he is okay for now. Also taking some hits. A lot of trading going on. It seems like Spectre's the only one with any health left. Is actually going on to the Necro here. They've got the Thunderstrike as well coming on down here. Necro getting very low. I think he's dead. The right clicks come through and they get that kill, but ZZQ is going to die in response. But Shiro and ZZQ now going to trade some hits here also. There's a dagger in 3 seconds, but there's also a boulder smash as well. So I don't think Shiro really wants anything more to do with this. They're just going to accept their trade. You down the bottom, more trade going on.
Fairy Fires.
Yes.
In your lane. This Necrophos has 0 Fairy Fires. That's why I'm gonna blame that on. No Fairy Fires, no healing salve. So he just ended up dying to the Spectre like that. I think those are situations where if you have Fair Fire, you pop it, Spectre runs away, then you get healing stop by like Earth Spirit or something, you just win the lane after that. Because the Spectre lost so many last hits. Like, look at him. He's just got 2 last hits, but he got the kill, right? So he's okay with it. But if he doesn't get the kill, he has to run back into the lane and you just heal back up. This is what almost all the other top teams do at the moment.
Meanwhile, down at bot, just a couple of hit spin traders, they just kind of ram their faces into each other. And the Void, he's not off to the greatest start here as he's feeling the pressure from this this Invoker and this Brew. Kaz doing his best to mess around with the creeps, get some stacks going on. I find it kind of did he stack this? Oh no, it's the Invoker that stacked it. Okay, that makes more sense. I was wondering.
Oh, it's really bad when you're the one who can't push out the lanes and you stack it. But in this game, I guess Jakiro can technically push out the lanes, right? So he's the one who's gonna get this big pull.
Necrophos getting low again, but survives this time around. Has got a stick with 5 charges in it and as well. Let's have a look in towards mid as we have ZHD playing up into 7E, and right now the CS is 14-3 to 12-2. Probably the only lane other than the Spectre which is properly farming against each other here, as these guys are just, you know, focusing on the creeps and getting down with it, and pretty even right now actually. I would have thought that Magnus would have an advantage, but so far so good for the Tiny. Done well for himself.
Yeah. I think we've seen this more and more where like the Tiny is pretty much what Tiny and T are the heroes who are doing pretty well in the lanes against Magnus. But apart from that, all the other heroes are struggling real bad. Like right now, if you see the Mag, he's gonna start pulling ahead a lot because he's got that level 2 power. He's already starting to farm the small camp. He's gonna get more XP than the Tiny is, and obviously his creeps cannot get denied anymore. Man's got like 120 damage or something already.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
3 minutes in. Okay. I mean, this can't be balanced, dude. This just can't be balanced.
Yeah, I mean, compare it to a tree, and it's like, it's crazy, because it gives you more than the tree does. And you don't even have charges.
Yeah. You're also harassing the opponent, especially if they're melee hero.
Oh, run, little Brew, but the dual breath catches onto him, and Safe Health will be able to bring him down. Who is the Safe Health player? Is it someone on Smurf?
Oh, top, the shot there.
Click. Okay, top lane ZZQ does die. Sorry guys, I was trying to figure out who's Safe Health.
Who's what?
Safe Health. I don't think I've seen this guy for. Is this a usual safe laner?
Good question, sir. Let me take a quick scan here. For me, the Chinese team's always changing rosters like crazy, so it's very, very hard. And also their names are oftentimes in Chinese as well, so I can't read it. Yeah, that's
definitely a problem. If you ever hear us calling a guy Invoker like 20 times in a game, oops, Spectre up in the top lane, getting pretty low, but also trying to turn around onto the Earth Spirit here. Earth Spirit also running out of HP, and actually with that Thunderstrike, might be enough to finish him off. It is. ZZQ gets a kill, and well, despite them dropping kind of low up here in the top lane, they're going to be happy enough with how this one went down. Get themselves a kill. You know, the Necro's still putting on pressure, but that's his thing, and we are going for Drum Spectre. Yes, this is what I wanted to see this game. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, we're going to lose Jakiro as Kaz gets dropped. Dragon be dead. But yeah, back to this drums on Spectre, and she's actually just straight up rushing it. This is an item which is going to allow her to go and fight. This is an item which is going to allow her to be more effective when she haunts in into fights here as they go on Beyond. Beyond, though, he's got himself a Death Pulse. Not many stick charges, but still going to be able to charge him up to about 400 HP and make this kill pretty much impossible, especially with the Spirit coming back into the lane. And is that an extra hero? Kaz is coming up to this top lane here. Wondering what his shtick is. What's his plan?
Yeah, they want to apply some pressure with this catapult right here, right? They have catapults on both sides here. It's kind of scary because the Void now has to fight into 2 heroes with the catapult, but then because he's just up against an Invoker and a Brew, he doesn't feel that scared, right? There's not any lockdowns that can really wreck him, so he's going to be chilled bottom, and top is kind of scary for Spectre because Disruptor is not a hero who can shove the lane out, and that's what you need in these situations.
Shiro getting pretty low here to Beyond. Beyond as well, popping the South, popping the wand, sorry, as he drops the Ghost Shroud. But Shiro's fine. They actually don't have the burst damage to get through this Spectre, so he's just going to keep on spamming out these salves, keep on keeping himself healthy.
Jakiro went back towards mid 2. He just dropped the... I don't know, just in there to get some XP, I guess. Magnus wants to just jungle up at this point. He's got the level 4 Empower. So we're going to see the rotation now top on the Invoker. So bottom's going to be a 1v1. I think Void's going to be happy with that. Top, the Invoker Arcade
going on him. They want to take him down. Cold Snap comes down. EMP as well doing its work. They're trying to bring down the Earth Spirit, but he has got that roll. Holds onto it though. Tornado's going to catch him, and the right clicks were there. Planet gets a kill. They will get this Earth Spirit. It's a successful rotation from the Invoker. He's flexing on Kaz here, the Jakiro, who failed in his rotation to get anything done. Invoker comes off, goes, that's how you do it, kid. That's how you make a rotation. Taking him to Dota school.
Yeah, the Spectre has the drums coming out too, and has his level 6 or her level 6. So that's really good because now, like I said, you got to play aggressively in this game. So if the Tiny starts roaming around, especially after the 8-minute power rune that he will most likely pick up, because I don't think anyone's really going to test him for it unless he gets unlucky, then the Spectre can just haunt onto that hero. Even the Face's Void can die in those situations where you get the haunt in and you get that stun toss combo. Brewmaster's almost level 6 too, so this is where it gets kind of scary for the Face's Void here, because you get that Bruise split, you can get chased down, and the Tiny, here he goes, already rotating.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, how did they see him? Yeah. They have a ward? Oh, they have a ward. It's overlapped by the Dire ward. Okay.
Yeah, double wards.
They saw him.
Up on the cliff.
Yeah. And CZQ is like, oh, I know what you're doing, buddy.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo. I'm just going up the higher ground. Just kidding. I saw you the whole time. Let's go. They will be able to take down the Observer whilst they're doing this. And now continues to chase down Kaz here. They've got the glimpse, and there's the avalanche. There's the toss. There's a kill, maybe. A couple more hits needed. The right click will come through from ZZQ. And he brings him down. Nicely done by the side of EHOME. Being a little bit active this early on is what we wanted to see.
Look at the net worth of the Magnus and the Tiny, but look at the Magnus's last hits too. Oh, top Spectre getting initiated on first. There's a Reaper site here.
Yeah, if she dies here, it's going to be hugely costly, but HD trying to jump himself in and find himself the RP, but yeah, as you say, no mana to get it off, and now he's in a spot of bother. EMP chasing him down, going to suck out the rest of his mana here. Meanwhile, they're picking out Shiro. They really do want to drop this side on Tim, but it's just not looking like this is going to happen. Maybe Planet is going to be the one to go down. They do have the shockwave coming through. RP at the ready as they bring down the Invoker and the 2-man RP. They didn't respect it, and now they're going to get punished. Down goes the Spectre. Tiny on the run as well. Can he make it out? The Shockwave's going to find him, and the Death Pulse will finish him off. And it's going to be 3 kills up in the top lane for the side of Blaze. That was pretty damn good.
I think Necro is probably the one hero you don't want to be giving these kills to, because Magnus can just farm really fast in the jungle, right? He has no problems not getting the kills here, but the Necrophos though, oh man, when this guy gets too farmed, he becomes too tanky. If you see the side of EHOME, they don't really have the damage output to be able to deal with a really farmed Necrophos.
No, but they do have a good amount of control for him at the very least. You know, if they pop split, they can throw him into the air, play around him. The Invoker can kind of just control him on the sideline. So I'm not like... They have options. See you later, Tractor Man. But
the only problem against that, I guess, the Heartstopper aura, right?
Yeah.
That thing is still going to be doing damage while you're in the air, and then later, once it comes down, it's probably just going to Reaper sight someone fighting around. It's not really a solution. Let's just say that.
No,
it's
you're...
really a solution to the Necro. You got to get this guy out of the fight somehow, other than like just the tornado only.
Yeah, it's putting like a band-aid on a stab wound. You know, it's only going to do so much, but maybe it can be enough to help you kind of get some core kills and then turn around and deal with him and properly find your solution afterwards. 5-9, meanwhile, the bottom lane, he's got himself the Helm of the Dominator finished up, and I hope some boots coming out, Tim. Yep, some brown boots finally on their way for the Brewmaster down here, so he's looking to put on some pressure with his Helm. Got a Catapult, got a Centaur, everything a little Brewmaster could want in life. That true love.
They're going to try to do something with this Catapult play. They got to open up the map because the top tower has already been dead. At this point, I'm wondering if Necrophos is signed to TP bottom. They should just go mid. They got the Catapult mid, they should just attack mid instead, get that valuable tower. If you go bottom, you're fighting into split, Tiny level 8. It's not a good idea.
Yeah. They were looking for a Chrono in mid, but unfortunately they didn't find it. Void with this Mask of Madness looking to just kind of get a kill with his first Chrono. But they're going to put some pressure on the tower instead, and this is something they really need to defend. The Brew has come in. I mean, that's the big target, but it's going down so quickly. The damage from these guys is pretty insane, and now they're going to go into the Void here. They've got it inside the Kinetic Field, and the Static Storm are jumping in. The Spectre trying to find the kill. The damage will be there, and they bring down the Void. Meanwhile, in the back line, ZZQ getting dropped by the Earth Spirit. Shiro trying to bring him down as well, though. Will get the return kill, but the Reaper side going to come in and take out the Tiny. ZH ZHD still got plenty of health as he takes down the Disruptor and looking for more. Stunned up though. 5-9 looking over to him. Gonna do a bit of damage to ZHD here. Shiro's sticking nearby. He's a little bit scared to fully commit to this Magnus kill, especially with Beyond just smacking him in the side here, but he is going to throw down the dagger and try and secure this one onto the mag. Turns around with the RP, doesn't quite make it, and now he's going to get his life taken by 5-9. And now it is just the Necro, but heroes are respawning and coming on in here. Safe Health making his way in. He's got the Chrono as well. Shiro's got to respect this, and meanwhile the tower just goes down to a singular right click from the Necrophos. Mission complete from Blaze. It was costly, it was messy, but they do get the job done.
Ooh, I don't know, man. They gave up a lot of kills there. That's a lot of experience, too, going the way of EHOME. And Spectre's a big winner out of all of that, right? Being able to get a nice team fight with the Haunt. The tower dying is really good, but I don't feel Blaze is going to take that advantage. They're just going to go back to farming. If you look at their heroes with their Magnus and Faceless Void.
The Chrono was never used. So I'm expecting Void to want to make something happen, because he's gone for this Mask of Madness. But like generally, when you go for Mask of Madness, you really want to try and find a kill with this, Chrono. Once you have it,
they gotta use another smoke. I think they're only down to one smoke now on the side of Blaze, so they need to make this very valuable. I guess the Brewmaster split being on cooldown and Spectre Haunt being on cooldown is like a big signal for Blaze to try and go out there and do something, but. After that last team fight, what I've noticed with Chinese teams is like when they lose one fight, they just start to shrink. They just like go back to farming again and just keep playing and farming until they get their next set of items, and then they'll do something. So I hope that doesn't happen here, because the Bruce Split and the Spectre Hunt are on cooldown. They should take this advantage right now.
And sure, would be a fantastic hero to bring down in this bottom lane, but Void, he wants these creeps. He wants his Empower, and now he's going to start making his way over. It might be a bit too slow. Shira might be done and gone by the time they get over here to actually try and deal with. The Void's not even coming yet. You're right. The Void's just farming. That's a shame.
I mean, you gotta get some items going for sure. He doesn't want to die again with his Mask of Madness item build either, because it feels very uncomfortable. It's not like a Midas, right? Where like you pop your Midas, you go to a fight, you drop a Chrono, you get out, it's fine. Here you have to actually commit to the fight.
Okay. See ya, Kaz. Okay. That's a nasty combination. Just the Avatos with the Static Storm, and all of a sudden, that is a dead boy.
But overkill on the Jakiro, though.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like the Avatos probably would have been enough, but with a couple of right clicks or a Thunder Strike. But
right, he has like Raindrop and Magic Wand. Maybe they're thinking like, oh, he's gonna Ice Path, and then someone else shows up, and then things get messy. So
they didn't have actually vision up the high ground here, so Void could have jumped in and chronoed them both, and then that could have been bad. So I guess that's what they were worried about. RP as well being up.
Right.
Better to be safe than sorry, Stephen. That's what my mummy always told me.
Exactly, and that's what we should do, right? As like sometimes when we think something is weird is happening, it's like, why did he do that? You should think like, why did he do that? Like, think about what possible reasons must have he had to accomplish it. Then if you do that, you can already become a better individual and thinker.
Critical thinking, very important. Meanwhile, Invoker might have to have plenty of time to do some critical thinking here, as he's in the grave for 27 seconds. But meanwhile, EHOME coming in for a bit of revenge, but 70 struggling to get close as this Jakiro is zoning him very nicely with that dual breath, and Beyond still perfectly safe right now. But there's the Avatos coming down, and that's going to be enough damage to take down that Necro. And now, well, Dot trying to make his way quietly away on the side here. They do see him. Do they have the catch though? Save health waiting in behind. He's got the Chronosphere. He's looming, and they've got the RP bringer as well. So I think this Tiny could be in a whole world of hurt right now. Dual breath is coming down. The Earth Spirit getting awfully low here. Haunt's going to come in as well. Can they actually find a kill on this one? They might have the Magnus on the front lines. Tiny already dead, but inside the Static Storm, they will kill off Mag. Dagger can connect onto the Faceless Void as well. He is the only core left alive, and that is a beautiful glimpse coming back here, controlling up the Void. He's got one or two more Time Walks left in him, and might have actually put the wand and gun himself a ton more mana, but they are just chunking away at this Void. Time Walk again, Cold Snap out. Beyond's coming on over though. He's actually respawned and coming back into this one, trying to keep the Void alive, throwing down the heals. Save health still getting himself away. They don't have anything to stop him, just constantly Time Walking out. He's gonna live through all of this. And might be Planet who's in a spot of bother right now. He's trying to run himself around the trees. Unfortunately, he's been dusted, so no chance of getting off that Ghost Walk. And he's going to get run down here, unfortunately. The child Invoker is going to get murdered. Never a pretty sight. See you later, good friend. But yeah, I mean, pretty violent fights. All in the end, it does end up. I mean, I still think that's a win for EHOME. And in the end, they did manage to get some key kills. You know, the Magnus going down's pretty big, the Necro going down's pretty big, and they didn't really lose anybody important except the Tiny, who's kind of okay with it. Interesting, by the way, I just want to point out, Brewmaster went Helm of the Dominator Midas. So
he wants to scale. He wants to scale. I kind of like it though, because this blink isn't really going to accomplish a lot. It's not going to be some epic teamfight initiation, something like that. So the Midas is going to let him scale. It's going to let him get to like a Radiance if he wants in this game. Buy that BKB, buy that AC, so many items. Definitely going to be the potential for EHOME. And this game is going to go real late, right? There's no doubt about that. And one thing I want to say, Blaze, man, this Magnus, I mean, this is just Magnus in general. They farm a lot. They have very high net worth, but their teamfight impact is so trash. I'm not even joking. Like, they go into a fight, and if they don't get that instant skewer into RP play, it's like they just get disabled up. They're so clunky. They don't move very fast, and then like they actually die, even though they're extremely tanky. So what you need to do is play for that dagger, then play for that BKB, and once you get that dagger and the BKB, then you're strong. But until like then, right, because like you're not this Magnus who is willing to sit back and just wait for that RP because you feel like, oh, you have so much net worth, you have to do something. So you're like always too rushy with like the plays that you're doing, and then you just die. You're just out of position all the time.
Yeah,
so it's happening with him right now.
Yeah, do you prefer them going for the Blink build first over the Echo Saber, or do you think Echo Saber first is pretty cool?
No. I think Echo Saber is great because Echo Saber allows, if your opponent runs into you, you can fight back into them. Because it does a lot of damage, you got that mana regen, right? I think what you do is you get the Echo, and then you keep farming and farming and farming until you get the Blink as well, which you can probably get around 16 minutes, if not earlier. I think taking fights before you get the Blink is a bad idea.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Unless your opponent's running into you. Right.
Yeah. That game's kind of fallen into a quiet spot right now. Although they have found themselves a Disruptor kill. I reckon this guy's just going to go down here. It's easy Q, no help coming his way. Reaper Scythe even being used to cut him down and send him to the grave for 60 seconds. Time to catch up on the news, Disruptor, you know, maybe read a book, start a novella. Whatever you feel like, you got the time for it. And they go RP onto 2, holding them both down as they actually come in here and just blow up the Invoker at least. Looking in towards this, yeah, they're gonna get them both. Brewmaster as well. Goes straight down. ZHD with a beautiful Blink RP onto 2 there. They didn't see that coming.
Look at that. Look at that. Finally, he gets a Blink, he gets an instant play. If he could do that without dying 2 times in the game first and giving away so much XP and gold, I think Blaze would be like a 9k gold advantage right now. It would have been much better. So this is like things you got to consider about your timings of your hero, how strong you are, weak you are, even if you have high net worth. It's very similar to Sven. You know, those Sven games we watch and we're like, oh, this guy still can't fight. He's still not in a fighting condition, right? And then eventually he gets like 20k net worth and you're like, okay, all right, he's ready now. Very simple. How's Spectre doing?
Yeah, she's doing okay. Going for this Manta next. Nearly there.
She kept Pupil's Gift over Vambrace. And there's an Aquila. Oh my goodness. All the dream items coming off for Spectre.
Yeah, all the Spectre items are there. I mean, I still think Essence Ring is probably the most valued, but...
Oh, yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah, that's the thing. Spectre just loves loads of neutral items, you know. She loves health. Oh my goodness, it's Jakiro in the middle lane getting jumped upon by 7 Struggling to finish the job here, though. Does get the kill eventually. Planet does just bring him down. Meanwhile, they're looking for a bit of a response here. Rolling onto the Disruptor. Buyback from Kaz as well. They just need to leave. Disruptor, he's probably going to get run down here. Actually pops his ulti before he dies, which is Trap the Faceless. They're going to use this to go here. Shiro jumping in with that Manta, tears him apart. Void is gone, out of existence. Meanwhile, DHG is going to get thrown into the air. They want to deal with different targets, and Kaz is going to be that target. They jump on top of him now. They've got the Cold Snap out onto him, and that fire is going to cut through him like a knife. Down goes to Jakiro as well. Beyond trying to fight up into this one with his Spirit Vessel on top of him, it's very tricky for him to actually actually survive through this, but he's got that yields to purge it off him, but another one comes straight away as 5-9 just gets on top here. 7E as well with the toss, with the damage to Invoker. Kind of going to interrupt this one a little bit here as he cancels out the toss damage and kind of saves the Necro's life. Now things are getting kind of awkward. Roll forwards here. Spectre in some trouble as she's getting on top of it. ZHD coming on top of him. Kushiro's got to run, but he's running out of space and it's going to get cut down by the skewer. 5-9 Mio just running himself away to the other side of the river. Both teams going to disengage here, but they have lost some big targets on both sides as Spirit actually ends up just going down to a very tasty little jump there from the Tiny. Man, what an absolute mess. Let's see this fight.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's not looking very good here, is he? Got to go for the TP, but Bash comes in immediately. Reaper's side as well, going to send him to the grave for 75 seconds.
Oh my goodness, that Invoker Tornado completely cocked his entire team. That Necro was dead, right? Tiny was setting up for that perfect stun combo, and then before the damage comes off on the avalanche and the toss and everything, the Invoker Tornado came in, interrupted it, and then all of a sudden Spectre's the one who's getting it turned around on. Oh dude, that was very, very sad to watch. I think they could have won that fight, maybe even killed one more hero and started pushing out all the lanes, and I think this goalie would have been at 0. But now Tiny's the one who's also dead. Play's gonna get the Roshan. Void has Aegis now. Oh, this suddenly is like such a big swing. The 2k gold doesn't even tell the story anymore.
No,
this is just so one-sided at this point. Now that they got the Aegis and they got the BKB up on the Faceless Void too now. 10-second BKB.
Man, Shearer's actually going for a Skadi next. I really wanted to see him go for the Diffuser. I feel like it's pretty value versus the Void and the Mag. Like, I think you can save these guys' mana with the EMP as well. It's pretty sick.
No, honestly, this time I would have to agree with the Skadi because he's playing against Void and Necro too, so they got a lot of heals going. The Time Walk and the Necro, so the Skadi will actually get allowed to mitigate so much damage. So much healing.
Why we keep you around, Phoeben? You give us those nice little nuggets like that to help us out when we're questioning life.
How about all the other stuff that I say? Only that one was of value?
No, just that.
Okay.
That was so good that it's worth it. You know, the whole cast is worth it. Down goes top tower. Gets taken on down. That's a tier 2 in the bag. And yeah, I mean, Lay's feeling pretty good about life right now. They have taken over the map. They have taken over the game somewhat. They've got an Aegis in their pockets. And there is not much EHOME can do about this. And this is another reason why I'm like questioning this Midas as well. Like if he had a Vlad's already or some kind of pipe or something on the brew, yeah, like
I mean he could have it right now. He could already have a Vlad's. He's got 3.7k building it up. He could already have Vlad's. He could already even have Vlad's and a hood if he wanted to. The thing is,
what about the last fight?
That I don't think that would have been relevant, honestly. This Midas is just help is too good, you know? You have a Spectre on your team, then you got the Void and the Mag. You don't know when a fight's gonna break out, right? The fight may never break out for like 12 minutes. Now, you want to be running around with the Vlads, or would you rather have a Midas during those 12 minutes, right? And then build up into the Vlads right after. Like, you can choose when to take your fights as well. They could just be like, okay, let's just fight it by Midas, and then I'll buy the pipe now, and then we can fight, or we can wait another 1,000 gold, and I'll have the Vlads, which would only take me about 2.5 minutes to farm.
Well, here comes that pipe on the way for the Brewmaster.
Good against Necro, Jakiro.
Yep.
Time lock, also magical damage.
Roll forward, accidentally catching the Invoker in the backlines here. Croto going to come down on top of the Tiny, but not before the Tornado actually cuts them up, but he's got the BKB to try and take down this Tiny, and with the Reaper's side, they will get him down. But in the backlines, they have killed off the Spirit in response. Not a great response, but one they'll probably take in the meantime. Meanwhile, ZZQ, he's going to get killed off, and that's going to mean there's really no opportunities here for EHOME to make something happen. Although 5-9 to the front lines here, he's going to pop that ultimate. Not too sure on this one, Chief. Going to try and help him out with a couple of spells being thrown, but they are just too scared to really commit to this one, as the last Panda is currently being cut down. ZHD, he's got Skewer available, and Chop. See you later.
Yeah, but you're right on one thing. They feel like they need to fight right now, so the Spectre went for the Diffusal Blade before the Skadi. He's like, oh god, these fights are terrible for us. I can't wait 5,000 something gold for that big item.
Yeah, the Diffusal Blade was cut off. Be careful though, being chased a little bit right now. Shiro, run Shiro, don't, oh, okay, he's farming. This could be a bit of a costly farm, a costly few creeps. Oh, he's on the ground. There's no one coming in, unfortunately. I think our Spectre friend might be in a spot of bother. Magnus gets on top.
He walked on the ward when he was getting to the top lane.
Placed down the dagger, but then didn't follow the path. We'll try to get back to it now, but yeah, it does get finished off. I mean, that's the problem with the skewer as well. It kills so many trees, the skewer, that it actually makes the dagger a little bit of a trap, because you go down that path and all of a sudden ZHG is going to follow you. Oh no, well, a return kill maybe coming on onto the dragon. Jakiro, he's going to get killed. Nice return from EHOME.
Oh, Face's voice like, what are you doing, bro? Now I'm dead too.
He's got a BKB. Maybe that's going to help him out a bit here. He's got time wants as well. He's actually dying space. Yeah, in comes Dot with the jump in, with the magnetize as well. Tiny on the run now. Finds himself on the defensive position. Uh-oh, tosses the Evoker back into them. That's for that tornado earlier. Now they look into the Faceless Void. Still doing a decent amount of damage. 5-9 in the front here, but he does not have a split. Trying to take down this Void. One more hit will be needed. Can't get it off. The tornado comes down. Meanwhile, Ruby's still on the backline. Then he takes down the Tiny. 5-9 still in trouble, though, as he's slowly getting whittled away at. And 7E as well. He's having real big Necrophos problems. The plague is on him, but he blinks himself away. Brewmaster, meanwhile, is already dead. And ZZQ going for a TP. Is he going to make it? Oh, he does. He just makes it out in time. And that's going to get him safe and sound out of the engagement. So, all in all, I think the last kind of 2 or 3 minutes, even though they did lose their Spectre and their Brew, I don't think it was that bad for EHOME somehow.
Why is that?
Because there's no more Aegis, because they managed to hold, and they're going to have their ultimates off cooldown soon. Like, if they can make a big fight with all these ultimates, this could be the opportunity they've been waiting for.
Well, they still have BKB and a Chrono on the Faceless Voids. Magnus also has a BKB and an RP. I don't think their team fighting is stronger. They do by the time, but it's just a first Aegis, right? They got 2 tier 2s out of it. That's already a pretty big win. Normally, you never go high ground until the second Aegis, and you still need to get more items. Tiny's dead once again. I want to say, this Tiny has been having the most horrible game after the early game. He's been killed a lot, and then the Face's Void is also really good. Oh, mid Spectre.
Yeah, they're going on him right now. They've got the Chronosphere coming down. Not going to be quite enough damage, but now they're just getting on top of her and cutting her away. Spectre does get off the Horde just before she drops, but drop she most certainly shall. And now with the Spectre out of the question, they can just keep on going. Tornado 1-2, not going to get a whole... Although they do actually manage to suck away the Void mana, and he's just stuck down here. They're going to get this one. Meanwhile, Beyond, though, he's still plenty healthy and just blocking himself on the front lines. Tornado thrown down onto the Necrophos from the Brew. And, well, it's all good. It's all good. This Necrophos just being an absolute menace on the front line of these fights.
I'm kind of surprised the Faceless Void actually ended up dying there. That was very, that's a worth trade right there, right? Faceless Void part of, because this Faceless Void, when Radiant is way further ahead, get that kill. Unfortunately, Spectre popped a Haunt before he died.
I didn't really get that, because if she doesn't pop Haunt there, she can buy back and Haunt in. And also, you know, a Haunt with like 100 HP ain't gonna do so much, but there we go.
Yeah, so unfortunately now when she is alive, they can't really make an instant play right after that. So yeah, back to my topic about Tiny. Like, Tiny is so sad playing against Faceless Void, because after he uses combo, he's literally the combo, right? That's what his toolkit is. You avalanche toss, you do like a bunch of damage, you linger around the fight, you wait for your next combo, and then you go in again. Faceless Void, as soon as he sees the Tiny, use a combo, he just pops the time dilation, and then suddenly his cooldowns are like 14 seconds even longer. So for 20 something seconds in the fight, Tiny can't even cast any spells, and he can't come back into the fight either.
Yeah.
So this position 2 hero is like completely neutered by his Faceless Void's time dilation. And then every time he does show up, when he wants to cast another set of skills, he just gets chronoed and dies.
yeah, it's for sure very, very awkward. There is an Enchanted Quiver, though, for the Tiny, which I feel like he must take. But then there's the RP coming down onto 2. The Broodmaster getting completely caught out. Reaper's Side's going to come out and finish him off. Meanwhile, the Disruptor just goes down on the side. EHOME just take them down. 3 quick kills in the jungle. I mean, that's just a straight up assassination. Meanwhile, Tiny caught out a little bit here by the Earthbird. He's got a Yule, so no TP for you, buddy. Magnus is coming on over as well. He's got the Silver Edge. He's going to cut through the guy. Well, what's being used though? I don't know if they want to turn this one around or what. Shiro's kind of just nearby, wondering what to do here. 7E trying to run away. He's got an avalanche if he can survive a little bit longer, but he's not going to. And now Shiro might just be the cherry on this very, very large cake, which Blaze are eating through right now. Shiro on the run, trying to make it away here, trying to cut through the tree line, still being chased, and he's got another dagger coming down, and Goz can go for the TP here. Looks like he will be safe enough.
You're a Spectre player, right? How nice is this 8-second Spectral Dagger cooldown?
Oh yeah, it's such a good talent.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of sucks now that you don't have the Soul Ring. You know, Soul Ring's just a bit too poop to build in Spectre now, so the mana cost can be annoying, but as long as you're spamming clarities, you're having a pretty good time. I'll tell you what's great, you get a mango tree. Yeah, it feels good. Roll forwards here, landing onto the Invoker, but they're going to pop the ultimate in response here, but they're actually able to force off themselves away from it. ZZQ's going to be the one that goes down, and meanwhile everybody else is just going to be absolutely fine as they cut through the Invoker again. EHOME Immortal are just playing very, very messily right now. They are all over the place. They are bedraggled, bestraggled, and just not playing properly currently. Losing far too many heroes, using far too many high commitment spells for not a whole lot. Oh dear. Well, you know what? They can maybe just kind of play high ground Dota for a while, sit up there, see if Blaze make any huge mistakes. But I feel like as long as Blaze just play the rest of the game properly, it seems like there's very few ways for EHOME back into this game now.
They're just looking for the second Roshan. They just want to get that Aegis, the cheese out, and then try to pick someone off inside of this ward here or up here, so one their vision, and then go straight to the high ground. They got plenty of damage. Just Necrophos is on his way to a heart as well. He's going to become unkillable. Manis has a Silver Edge against the Spectre. Really, really good item.
Basically, Necro is killable?
I say he's going to become unkillable. Like,
yeah, but you're telling me he was killable beforehand? Meanwhile, oh Jesus, Invoker Y, he walks into it, just gets absolutely shredded. RP gonna come down into the Spectre as well, and with that break, they're just gonna be able to cut through. I'm not even sure they broke her, they just killed her the old-fashioned way. Horn comes down, trying to look for something. Void comes in though, looking for the RP, sorry, for the Chrono, but the Spectre just TPs herself away instantly. But still, in a bit of a vulnerable position here. Can't really commit to killing this Earth Spirit lest they both get chronoed. And now it's double damage mag. He is hungry. He's looking for the Spectre right now. And look at the damage he's dishing out. Spectre just has to run. She can't turn around and fight him. Meanwhile, ZZQ is going to go down on the sidelines here. 7E looking like he's in a spot of bother as well. So he's just going to get killed off by CHD, who's tearing through everybody. Nothing is stopping this Magnus right now as they get on top of the Brewmaster as well. He is dead, making it 4. And it is going to be the side of Blaze which run down this middle lane and win the game. As the GGs are called by the Tiny. There's nothing left in the tank for EHOME Immortal. They know how this game's going to go, and it is only going one way. Man, I mean, rough start to the series for EHOME, that's for sure, but Blaze just laying the smackdown in this first game.